Welcome to this explainer. You know, I've got a bit of a secret to confess. For the absolute longest time, I was terrified of English grammar. I mean it. I would look at these complex sentences with this heavy, sinking feeling in my gut that English just wasn't for me. It felt impossible. But today, I want to share how that completely flipped upside down for me, and more importantly, how it's going to change for you too. So, does that sound familiar at all? Like, is grammar your absolute worst enemy? When you hear words like tenses, prepositions, or articles, do you instantly feel this massive wave of confusion? Listen, you are definitely not alone here. So many of us have stared blankly at grammar books and thought, yeah, I'm never going to get this. Well, today, we are going to solve that problem together. My English teacher always repeated the exact same thing: learn the rules, learn the grammar. It was such a rigid, exhausting method. We had to memorize these wildly intimidating names like past perfect, only for my mind to go completely 100% blank the very next day. Honestly, I felt like a failure. I genuinely thought grammar was some kind of secret code that only geniuses could crack. But deep down, I really still wanted to learn. And then I had this crazy moment at the library. I saw a man reading a massive grammar book, and he was actually smiling. I was so shocked, I just had to walk up and ask him why. He looked at me and said, I don't just study grammar, I play with it. He learned through real, engaging stories, not rigid rules. And honestly, that one single sentence totally gave me hope. That exact night, I literally slammed those scary grammar books shut for good, and I made a promise to myself. The promise of one. I stopped trying to memorize 10 pages a night, because that obviously wasn't working. Instead, I promised to learn just one small grammar point and write one single new sentence about my life every single day. Because connecting grammar with your actual everyday life, that is literally where the magic happens. On day one, I just focused on the present simple. I wake up, I brush my teeth. Very simple. Day two, past simple. I woke up, I brushed my teeth. Fast forward just 3 months, and I was suddenly using tenses easily. At 6 months, I was speaking noticeably better. And by year one, grammar wasn't this big, scary monster anymore. It was actually my friend. So how do we actually get there? Well, I started finding these genuinely fun little ways to practice. I started talking to myself in English. I'd literally ask out loud, what did I do today? And then answer. I went to the market, I watched cartoons, and I'd pause them just to repeat the lines with the exact same ridiculous emotions as the characters. And I wrote tiny daily stories about my own life. Now, did I do all this perfectly right out of the gate? Oh, absolutely not. No way. I made tons of mistakes. But the key is, I didn't give up. I realized pretty quickly that every mistake was like a small teacher. Making errors is just a necessary, normal part of growing stronger. And honestly, my mistakes taught me way more than those rigid rules ever did. The building blocks game, the 8 parts of speech. Okay, so instead of looking at the 8 parts of speech like some boring grocery list to memorize, I want you to think of them as Lego pieces to build your thoughts. Take a sentence like, wow, the red dog jumped on the table and barked loudly. We used almost all our blocks right there. Wow is our interjection. Red is our adjective describing the dog. Jumped is our action verb. See? When you look at it this way, it totally becomes a game, not a test. So, how are you going to start playing with this today? You're going to start incredibly small. Step 1, just talk about your day right now using the present tense. Something like, I eat rice. Step 2, talk about yesterday using the past tense. I ate rice. And step 3, talk about tomorrow with the future tense. I will eat rice. That's literally it. You are already expressing yourself. Listen, if you only take one single thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be curious. Grammar is just a tool for expressing who you are. So the next time people complain that it's too hard, just smile. Because it's not your enemy anymore. It's actually your superpower.